Hey, welcome Guild Wars 2 fans. So today we're going to talk about the Legendary Armoury, and then we're also going to talk about crafting legendaries. So the Legendary Armoury, according to ArenaNet's post, is going to be a spot where you are going to be able to take all of your account-bound legendary gear, and you are going to be able to use it across all of the characters on your account without having to transfer it between your characters. So super convenient. So for me, I definitely have decided that I want to increase the number of legendaries I have on my account, and I've been looking over what it's going to take to make more legendaries. And outside of the precursor and then the gifts of exploration, if you are doing weapons, depending on which generation you're doing, whether it's just map completion from Gen 1 or it's Maguma Masteries, what I've found is that there is this other item that takes up about half of the cost. And that item is going to be either the gift of Mystic Fortune if you are working on a Generation 1 legendary, or the gift of Mystic Tribute if you're working on any of the legendary armor, or if you are working on a Generation 2 legendary. So with that being said, I've been looking over how to best get my value out of my time farming and not spend so much money on TP taxes as I go through this process. And here's what I found. So first we'll talk about Mystic Clovers. So Mystic Clovers are can be acquired in a few different ways. The most common way that people acquire Mystic Clovers is through the Mystic Forge recipe, and that is taking obsidian shards, ectoplasm, and mystic coins, and combining them into the Mystic Forge. So if you're going to get your Mystic Clovers this way, a good place to spend some time at is in the Silver Waste, because you can get obsidian shards from the chests that drop, or the chests that are dug up using the shovels here in Silver Waste, and once a person has dug it up on the map, the chest lasts for a little while and everybody on the map has a chance to loot it. So that is a good way to be picking up obsidian shards, as well as it gives you access to some T5 and T6 materials, as well as unidentified gear to increase your chances of getting a precursor if you're doing a Generation 1 weapon. The next item inside there is the Mystic Coins. So let's go ahead and talk about Mystic Coins real quick. And Mystic Coins are got through a few different ways. You can get them through login rewards, and they are the first day of every week, as well as doing Fractals of the Mist, and the other way that you can acquire them is through World versus World. You can get them in the gold chest as well as the diamond chest at the end. You can get 6 of those per week. Also doing World versus World, you can get Mystic Clovers. They are at the end of each reward track, except for the Gift of Battle, where you get 2 of them as you progress through there. You're going to need the Gift of Battle to craft legendaries, so you're going to have to run through that reward track at least a few times. Another important thing to note is there are reward tracks that are only one-time completion that you can get 7 Mystic Clovers from. And then if they are chests that are repeatable, you can get 2 Mystic Clovers each time you can complete them. If you're doing it in World versus World, it generally takes about 8 hours for new players without boost to complete those, and if you are maxing out your pips to get your Mystic Coins, you're probably going to finish about 3 of those per week. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the other large portion of this, which is the trophies. So trophies are one of the more difficult things to farm in Guild Wars 2, but there are some ways that you can specifically target the trophies you're looking for. So if you are looking for trophies that are going to be tier 5 or tier 6, what you can do is you can farm on, let's go ahead and swap maps here real quick. You can farm Living Season 4 maps. And what Living Season 4 maps have are volatile magic. And volatile magic will allow you to purchase trophy shipments from the vendor near the spawn. And those will have tier 5 and tier 6 materials, trophies in them. Alright, so here we are on Korna. It's a Living Season 4 map, and we are going to hop over to the vendor here real quick. And as you zone in, you're going to see that the Volatile Magic Collector's over here. And we're going to go look at the items. So you've got the different shipments here. So the trophy shipment here will, for 250 volatile magic and 1 gold, will give you tier 5 and tier 6 trophies. I've generally found that with the chest, I generally get about twice what I put into it. So I'll usually get about, we'll say on average, 2 gold out of the trophies out of the chest. So it's a good way to spend your volatile magic, and if you spend a little bit of time here, you can definitely cut down on the need to go to the TP for trophies for tier 5 and tier 6. So with that being said, let's go ahead, and if you are making a Generation 2 Legendary and you need the tier 3 through tier 6 materials, you're going to be able to spend your trade contracts as well as karma to purchase them through the caches that are here, and you can find them at different hearts throughout the Path of Fire. So let's go ahead and hop over to one of those hearts real quick. That way I can show you. So finish the heart at the refugee camp. Alright, so here we are over at the refugee camp now, and this is one of the heart vendors that will give you a trophy chest, and the trophy chest will be for 630 karma and 50 trade contracts. And you'll be able to pick up trade contracts just from doing regular events throughout the regular Path of Fire maps. And also you'll be able to pick some of them up from like the sand piles and stuff like that on the Living Season maps as well. One thing to note about these trophy crates is that they're only going to contain 3 different types of materials, and they are going to contain materials from tier 1 all the way through tier 6. So these aren't guaranteed to give you tier 4, just tier 3 through tier 6, but they will give you those items that you're going to need for crafting the Mystic Tributes for the Gen 2 weapons, as well as the Legendary Armor from World vs. World and PvP. So it's another good way to reduce the costs of the trophies that you're going to need for that crafting. Alright, so after you do a little bit of farming, I generally will do it at the end of the session. I haven't really been farming yet today, but I'll drag the gear down and I will identify it. Now, the nice thing about leaving gear in shared inventory slots up top, when you use the salvage all feature, you won't have to worry about it salvaging this gear, because you never just want to straight salvage this gear. You're losing your chance at identifying a precursor weapon, and I've even gotten precursor weapons from the common unidentified gear, so definitely identify your gear. And the other thing this this will let you do is it'll let you start to build up more materials for crafting like Gen 2 legendary weapons. So as you get the rare ones, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to check them on the trading post, and you're going to want to see that if their price is higher than an ecto plus the transaction fee, so the list fee and exchange fee. So generally what we're going to be looking for here right now is if I were to sell a single ecto on the trading post right now, I could get 22 silver if I put it in at the lowest order. So I'm going to be looking for basically 26 silver and above right now. And I currently don't have anything that is quite that high. So what I would do, and generally it's going to be your swords and your great swords that will meet that criteria. And everything that's below that, what I'll do is I will salvage it with a salvage kit and have all of the silver there to use in my legendary crafting a little bit later. Alright, so here we are at the Mystic Forge, and what we're going to do, I'm going to show you is what's called item promotion, and what you can do is spend some spirit shards, some T5 materials, one crystalline dust, and one of the T6 material, and you're able to promote T5 materials into T6 materials. So let's go ahead and put some of these in here. And generally, so this one here, I got 9. I believe the lowest number you can get is 5 from doing this, but you're still going to be increasing the number of materials that you have. So there's a 5 there. And like that, we got a little bit closer to having a full stack of the T6 claws. So hopefully everyone finds this helpful. Good luck in your quest for legendaries, and happy huntings, and we'll catch you next time.